In today's video we're making a beautiful creamy chicken and leek filo pie, and it's got all the best flavours in. We've got some smoky bacon in there, some cheddar cheese, obviously leeks and chicken. It's going to be absolutely beautiful, and here's everything you need. For the prep for this one, we'll begin by taking 800 grams of skinless and boneless chicken thighs, or roughly around 5 chicken thighs, and then we'll cut them into 2cm dice. So just simply cut them into around 3 or 4 strips and then cut across those strips to make dice. Next, I've got 120 grams of smoky bacon. You can use streaky bacon or back bacon for this. I'm using streaky because I like the fat content in it. It all adds wonderful flavour. And cut these into 1cm strips. And for the final piece of chopping, take 2 leeks, make sure you've washed them thoroughly, and then slice them up as thin or as thick as you like. It really depends how chunky you want them to be in your pie. So with the prep done, we can now start making the filling. So place a pan over a medium-high heat. We'll then drizzle in 20 millilitres of olive oil, and once it's hot, add in all of the diced chicken. And we'll sear this until it's golden brown on all sides. Then add in the smoky bacon and cook it until crisp, and then place in the sliced leeks. Turn the heat down to medium-low and cook them for 3 to 4 minutes until soft. Stir through 20 grams of Dijon mustard and then sprinkle in 30 grams of plain or all-purpose flour and stir it in to absorb the fat. Next, pour in 300 millilitres of chicken stock and bring it to a simmer before adding in 300 millilitres of double or heavy cream. Bring it back up to a simmer and add in 100 grams of grated cheddar cheese. Stir it through until it's melted and season to taste with salt and black pepper. Make sure you go easy on the salt though, because both the bacon and the cheddar cheese already contain a lot of salt. You can then remove it from the heat. So that is our pie filling ready, and once it is done it should be nice and thick and quite luxurious and look something like this. So we'll just leave the filling to cool down for a bit while we prepare our pie case. And as it sits there, it will cool down, it will thicken up, and that's great because we want it to be nice and thick before we put it into our pastry. So for our pie dish, I'm using this tin here, which is actually a tart case, mainly used for like quiches or dessert tarts, but I think it'll be the perfect size for this recipe. This is a 24cm tin, but anything you've got of a similar size will work perfectly. You could even use a cast iron pan or a cake tin or something like that. It will still work really well. So I'm going with this and hopefully it'll be the right size. And next what we want to do is brush it generously with melted butter. And I'm not going to give a quantity for the melted butter for this recipe, but what I will say is you'll need quite a lot of it because we need to brush the filo sheets with the melted butter for every single layer. But I'm going to begin by brushing the tart tin and then lay in a sheet of filo pastry and then brush that pastry and keep repeating it for 5 or 6 layers of pastry. Leave the edges overhanging around the side because we'll fold them back in later to create the top. Next, we're going to spoon in the filling and spread it out so it's nice and even. And then we're going to simply fold the filo pastry back over the filling, leave it looking nice and rustic with bits sticking up because they'll crisp up in the oven and go absolutely delicious. And then finally we need to brush the top with more melted butter. So now all that's left to do is to bake it. So place it onto a tray before it goes in the oven, just in case any of the filling overspills and comes out. And then we're going to place it into a preheated oven at 200 degrees Celsius and cook it until the filo pastry is golden and crisp. So this has been baking for around 40 minutes now. It's beautifully golden on top, nice and crisp. And now I'm just going to leave it to cool for 10 minutes before I break into it and see what it's like inside. So crisp. Just listen to that. So I wasn't sure if I was going to take it out of the case on camera, but I can hear you all chanting, "Take it out the case." So I think I'm going to have to do it. And luckily it's got a removable bottom on this tin. I can place it over a bowl and hopefully it'll come out and hopefully it'll be robust enough to keep its shape. So let's give it a go. And would you look at that? It's held its shape. Right, I suppose we better cut into it now. You know what, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm chuffed that it held its shape. It looks delicious, the filling looks awesome. You can see those big chunks of chicken, the leek, the bacon, and there's one thing left to do, and that is to give it a little taste. So let's get in. Missed the pastry that time. It's beautiful. You can taste that mustard coming through. The main flavour of the bacon and leeks is just perfect. I think you should give it a go. I hope you enjoy this recipe. If you make it, don't forget to tag me in it so I can see. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.